if I was you, if you have money in, like, I don't know where your savings money is, I would put that in a high yield.
Yeah, that right now is just in a regular savings account in my
Put that
I'm trying
thing
to
in a
get that
high
out of there.
yield, bro. Yeah. Put it in a high yield. There's one called Marcus. You have Ally. You have Barclays.
Okay.
Figure out which one works for you. Look at them fine prints, because sometimes they'll say you only could take out your money 6 times a month or something like that, or 6 times or whatever. Look at the fine print, make sure it works. Sometimes they'll say if you have $5,000, only 2,000 of your money is going to be high yield, and the rest is going to be regular. So make sure all of the money you put in there can get that high yield earnings, and then the rest of the money, because we want to make sure we have that emergency, that nest eggs if something crazy happens. The rest of the money, that's when we start saying, okay, where can I put this to invest so that it can grow more than 4%? So I want this 10% earnings, but I'm gonna make sure I got this 4% here just in case something crazy happens.
So, because like I was saying with like what I wanted to do, the four places, just like I know that I want to get to there,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to build that pot to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you build it in different ways. So you build it by, again, putting your money in something that's gonna earn you more money. Or you build it by honing your skill. So the best way that you can earn money is by honing a skill that you have. Again, if I'm not going to be an athlete, the same thing, athletes. Like, the more you train the skill, you got a skill, I train it over time, then I get better at it. And then the better I am at it, the more somebody's going to want that skill. And the more somebody wants that skill, the higher premium I demand. So it's the same thing. What am I going into? So even if you're going into this nonprofit thing, what are some things I can do on the, like, for me, I work for Suncoast, but I also do this on the side myself. So I did this before I started working at Suncoast. And so I make money on the side and I make money for Suncoast. And so
the nonprofit is essentially a sports club.
Yeah.
It also is a pole vault club. So
Yeah.
the poles and stuff, we rent out the poles, and then we offer like private coaching sessions, and then there's also like classes that we do as far as like NIL teaching and stuff, like just to help like the kids,
Right.
so that once they get to high school, once they get to college, it's a little easier, because
Yeah.
my process wasn't easy. So I wanted to help out that.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
as far as like, I guess trying to start businesses, because I know like food was a thing, so we wanted to do like a food truck that works like primarily for
Got you.
the club, and then we
Yes.
could also branch out and like
Yeah.
do Miami, and we'll go to the scenes and stuff like that and throw events. And we also wanted to do events like track meet type situations, but pole vault's kind of its own thing, so
Right.
we do like only pole vault events. So I guess the only way, like, I know I want to do that, but like getting the money for it is like the deepest part. Like,
So and this is all, so there's a whole bunch of ways and ways around it, but basically the main thing is start earning money, and the more money you can start earning, so the more of those things that you're putting into the business. So it's the same thing, like, I'm earning this money for this business, so now this business makes $100,000 a year, so now I can go and ask the bank for $300,000. And so now I can then put that back into the business. Now, what you want to make sure you're doing is, if I'm asking somebody for $300,000, that loan is probably going to be, say, $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month. I need to make sure that I'm making at least $3,000 a month. So if I'm not making $3,000 a month, I don't need to go and ask for a $300,000 loan, because I want to make sure that I'm making more money, so that if something, and it can't be just like it's $1,500, I'm making 16. Because if something happens and I only make 12, then I can't pay this loan. Yeah. So I need to make sure that I'm making enough money to where I can always pay this loan, and I can always like put money into the business. And then also, if I need to be paying myself, I can do that. So we need to say, I'm making this amount of money. These are the things that I need to do. And how do I do that? So like, the first thing you need to do is, like, when you are able to, get a business plan set up. Business plan is going to put all of those things that you're talking about into perspective. Then there's a thing called a cash flow analysis, that you can then do the research and figure out how much do these different things cost. So how much does it cost to have all this to buy this pole vault equipment? How much does it cost to rent out an area and do track events? How much does it cost to do these things? Then how much can I charge? So now, we got this pole vault equipment. How much do I need to charge in order to make money, so that way the pole vault equipment is like a benefit? Okay. How much do I need if I rent out this space and it's track and I'm doing these things, and I paid $5,000 just for the space? how much do I need to charge each guest so I can make that 5,000 and then
still have something.
make some more money. So make sure that the business actually works.
Okay.
So the cash flow analysis helps you figure that out. And then once you do those things, that lets people know you have a viable business. So this business is ready to go, is rocking, is making money. And then like you can ask for whatever you want to ask for, bro. You can literally, yeah.
Yeah,
So
because the guy who runs it now, he's my coach, and he's been doing this 10+ years, but he's always been by himself, and he always has another
Yeah.
business. So he hasn't really had the chance to grow it the way he wanted to. But I feel like I can get in and do something for real and like grow the business as I saw it could be.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying. The first step would be to just make sure it's making money and making enough money to go get that loan to
get
start
somebody
doing the
else's
rest.
money. Because the only way you can really scale is like the other side of that, because it's a nonprofit, is being so good at what you do and impacting so many kids that you can go and ask the government for grants.
Yeah, that's
Or you can
another
go and
thing
ask the city for grants.
But then we was talking about, because grants and stuff, like I understood that there was a whole different dome of paperwork that goes with that, and then some people had to hire another person to do the grants and stuff like that.
All right, yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, so yes. So it's always good. There's a thing called a grant writer. So if you don't know about it, it's always good to get somebody that does that. There's a lady, like I work for some nonprofits now. The lady, she does all the grant writing, and then she does it for their whole nonprofit. And then whatever they're trying to impact in, so like they do things around the arts. So it's art, it's like drawing, culinary, it's music, all types of stuff. They have plays and all types of stuff. So she'll write a grant based on that, and then she'll send it out to people that has grant money, whether that's the government or whether that's like donors or other people. So it's always good to have somebody like that. And then that allows you to say, okay, these people are giving out grants. What do we do that match what they're asking for? And then that person can then write that grant up. Because grant money, like, it's not always like the stuff that you're saying is a better way to go, because you're not going to always get the grant. So if you have what's called enterprise, which is the things that you're talking about, ways that brings money into the nonprofit, that's a more of a for-profit kind of way, then that allows you to work outside of grant money, because a lot of times grant money has restrictions. Yeah. But it is some things like, honest, like I don't have a nonprofit, but this lady reached out and she was like, hey, I got this grant, like they're giving out $2 million. I was like, sign me up. Yeah. I didn't get it, but I was like, I mean, it don't hurt to try. Yeah. So like, yeah, there's things like that. And the area that y'all are in, there's going to be a bunch of grants that you can take advantage of. So you want to take advantage of all options. So I'm going to try this grant route. I'm going to try this loan route. I'm going to just try to make this money route as far as with the different things that we're building out. And then the business plan tells you how to put all of those things together. So let me get your information. That's the main thing. Because I'm going to reach out to you and I'm going to send you this thing. They're in everywhere. So when you go to Miami, you can even reach out. But it's called the SBDC.